A ceasefire meant to still, the guns now trembles in its own cradle. As Washington warns of an imminent Hamas attack on Palestinians and threatens to step in. Even while Egypt is groomed to secure Gaza's afterlife. Is this truce already dying before the ink has dried? The United States has warned that Hamas may be planning an imminent attack on Palestinian civilians in Gaza, calling it a potential violation of the ongoing ceasefire. In a statement released over the weekend, the State Department said it had informed mediating nations, Qatar, Turkey and Egypt, of credible reports indicating that Hamas could target residents inside the Strip. The department further stated,
"This planned attack against Palestinian civilians would constitute a direct and grave violation of the ceasefire agreement and undermine the significant progress achieved through mediation efforts. The guarantors demand Hamas uphold its obligations under the ceasefire terms."
The department warned of potential measures against Hamas, floating the idea of an intervention if needed.
Should Hamas proceed with this attack, measures will be taken to protect the people of Gaza and preserve the integrity of the ceasefire.
While it did not specify the nature or timing of the potential attack, the statement emphasized that
the United States and the other guarantors remain resolute in our commitment to ensuring the safety of civilians, maintaining calm on the ground, and advancing peace and prosperity for the people of Gaza and the region as a whole.
The warning follows reports and video evidence obtained by CBS News showing Hamas fighters executing Palestinians accused of collaborating with Israel. Israeli hostage negotiator Gershon Baskin told the outlet that such violence reflects a long-standing pattern of internal repression by Hamas. Meanwhile, a US official told the Times of Israel that the White House is considering sending Vice President J.D. Vance to Israel early next week to discuss the next phase of the Gaza ceasefire deal. He is expected to be joined by Special Envoy Steve Witkoff and Senior Advisor Jared Kushner. The State Department said Washington and its partners remain committed to safeguarding civilians, maintaining calm on the ground, and supporting peace and reconstruction efforts across Gaza and the broader region. Meanwhile, a multinational team that will help secure Gaza after the war between Israel and Hamas is beginning to take shape, with Egypt expected to lead the effort. The proposed International Stabilization Force, or ISF, forms part of US President Donald Trump's 20-point plan for Gaza. The mission aims to secure the territory during a transitional period following Israel's withdrawal and the disarmament of Hamas. According to Guardian, the United States and European partners are preparing a UN Security Council motion to authorize the force under a UN mandate, though it would not be classified as a UN peacekeeping mission. Diplomats told the paper that Egypt would likely head the operation, though Cairo has not formally confirmed its participation. Indonesia remains the only nation to publicly offer troops, pledging 20,000 soldiers under a UN-mandated mission. Meanwhile, US officials told the Times of Israel that Azerbaijan has also agreed to contribute forces, marking one of the first concrete international commitments to the ISF. Other discussions are underway. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan has expressed readiness to send troops, while the UAE and Qatar may support the effort through funding or training. The initiative aligns with former British Prime Minister Tony Blair's proposed framework for a Gaza International Transitional Authority, a body envisioned to oversee Gaza's post-war governance. Although the details remain under negotiation, Egypt's potential leadership role signals growing regional involvement in shaping Gaza's stability and future beyond the ceasefire. Gaza's media office says Israel has violated the ceasefire with Hamas 47 times since early October, killing 38 Palestinians and wounding more than 140. The office cited incidents of gunfire, shelling, and arrests of civilians, calling on the United Nations and guarantor countries to intervene to protect unarmed populations.
These violations have included crimes of direct gunfire against civilians, deliberate shelling and targeting, and the arrest of a number of civilians, reflecting the occupation's continued policy of aggression despite the declared end of the war.
The deadliest incident occurred on October 18th, when Israeli forces killed 11 members of the Abu Shaban family after targeting a civilian bus in Gaza City's Zaytun neighborhood. Civil defense spokesperson Mahmoud Basal said the family appeared to have crossed the so-called Yellow Line, an area marking Israeli army control, but noted that there were no visible markers distinguishing it.
They could have been warned or dealt with differently. What happened confirms that the occupation is still thirsty for blood and insists on committing crimes against innocent civilians.
Gaza's Civil Defense Agency reported that the victims included 7 children and 3 women. The Israel Defense Forces said troops fired after a vehicle ignored warning shots and posed what they described as an imminent threat. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's office said the Rafah border crossing will remain closed until Hamas returns all deceased hostages and fulfills the terms of the ceasefire.
PM Netanyahu instructed that the Rafah border crossing will not open until further notice. Its opening will be under consideration in accordance with the manner in which Hamas implements its part in return of the deceased hostages and implementation of the agreed-upon framework.
Gaza's health ministry reports that since the war began last year, over 68,000 Palestinians have been killed and more than 170,000 injured. Humanitarian agencies say aid remains critically limited, with water and food convoys unable to meet emergency needs. As both sides trade blame over violations, the fragile ceasefire remains under strain, and families in Gaza continue to search through rubble for the missing amid worsening living conditions.